to be, but here today and sitting up here with you, you've been such an inspiration to me and to so many women. We were sitting at the table and one after another, somebody would come up to you and I said, you're so gracious with everything, with just your time and your advice and just what you give the world, really. And as I've gotten to know you, and I have over the past few years, I think you're remarkable,
But isn't everyone like that?
Oh yes, everyone's like that. Well, we're so glad you are. You were recently named to the Time 100 list of the 100 most influential people. You're a mentor to so many. It's remarkable. It is remarkable.
That was a cool one, I'm not going to lie. So I got a shout out from Snoop Dogg, just saying.
I mean, that's really cool.
That was cool.
Who has been influential to you in your life, Bobbi?
I mean, there's been so many people. I've never had like a mentor, but I've, between my parents, my mother, my Aunt Alice, my Papa Sam, my husband, my kids. So, yeah.
That's wonderful. I mean, I think when you got that, when you were named one of the most influential, what did that feel like? I mean, it's a biggie.
It's a biggie. It's a biggie. And it was really fun, really cool. And, once you get these awards, every time they introduce you, they say that. Yeah. So it's like, okay, that's cool.
Oh, I should have said that,
yeah,
right?
No, I mean, it's become part of it. So you got to let some of them go.
Okay.
I'm still in the New Jersey Hall of Fame. I'm proud of that too.
That's right up there, my friend. I read your book, Still Bobbi, and there's so much of it that I love, and really, it's like I learned from it. It felt like it spoke to me. It feels like it was just something that this is the time. But why was it the time for you to write this book?
It really wasn't the time. I did not want to write a memoir, and someone knocked on my door, a friend of a friend who was an agent, and said, I want to do your story. And I'm like, I don't want to write a memoir. I'm not ready. I'm not old enough. Because, we have to write your story because you have so much to teach and tell. Mm-hmm. And then you started writing it and working on it, and I realized it's a memoir, right? I start with my grandpa, and I go all the way, to my granddaughter.
But I have to say, there's so many lessons in it too. Like I do believe that there's we've talked about this before, but you use the word blueprint. I think there's a blueprint in there that I read.
I didn't have a blueprint when I kind of started as a, with the side hustle and makeup. I was a freelance makeup artist. I was married. I moved to the suburbs and I was in the fashion industry. No one did that back then. Like you didn't show up at a Vogue shoot and say, I got to go because the bus to the suburbs is waiting for me. But I did it, and I've always figured things out. Like that's the only way that I do things. I'm like, oh, let me try that. And I've got my team from Jones Road, and by the way,
yes,
they don't get out much. So thank you guys for coming. And they're like, when you're in corporate, everybody comes. So thank you for coming, and now you see what I do when I'm not there.
What does Still Bobbi mean to you?
Well, when I was writing the book, I had a couple ghostwriters, but I was telling all these cool stories because I've had this like bizarre, interesting life where one day I'm, I don't want to sound like a name dropper, but I am talking about the book. I'm at Mick Jagger's for dinner, and another day I'm doing this, but then I leave there and I'm still Bobbi. I come home through the Lincoln Tunnel and take all my fancy things off, and I was where I'm most comfortable, which is being myself.
Do you think that that's helped you not have fear? I mean, you've done so many incredible things, from makeup artists to 2 global beauty brands. Is that what kept you grounded, so you didn't, fall into some traps that people fall into?
Well,
right?
I like to be grounded.
Yeah.
It's the Aunt Alice in me, and if you read the book, you'll read about my Aunt Alice, who's 94, and is going to interview me on stage in Chicago at her retirement community.
Wow,
which
that's
I'm so
great.
excited. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. So, I grew up grounded. I married someone that when I come home, he doesn't really care what I did all day. That's fabulous. He just wants to know what's for dinner.
Okay.
So where are we going? Are we getting takeout? So I like to surround myself with grounded, normal people.
That keeps you in the right place, in the right frame of mind for all the other things.
And it keeps me comfortable. Like it's, find out what your comfortable is and do that.
I think it's such incredible and necessary advice. Is there a daily habit you swear by in all of this? You have days, like you said, that go from one thing to another. I know that, you've got the book is coming out next Tuesday. You have been on a whirlwind. I spoke to you earlier this week, and I don't know if you ever went home and slept or did anything. You've just been going.
No, I go home and sleep. And today
right.
I did get up at 3:50 because I had to be up at 6. And, I didn't look at my Oura ring to see how many hours. I'm going to look tonight because I feel okay. So I think, just having a positive attitude, it's so easy for me to say, oh my God, I have to do all these things.
Yeah.
But I realize I get to do these things.
That's the word.
So it's really the attitude.
That's the word. I get to do these things. It's what we have to remember and remind ourselves.
Yeah.
Is there a way you've learned to deal with change? I don't know that change ever comes easy, right? But I know that you have learned to deal with it, whether it's by choice or by chance.
Well, I actually love change, because it gives you a fresh start. Certainly when I left my big brand, that change was not exactly an easy one. That was the hardest time I went through. But, starting a new brand is exciting. So, that was the best kind of cure for me to get over. The old brand was, I'll just start a new one.
When we just heard the young woman there saying, like, she's done it again.
Uh-huh.
What do you hear when you hear that? I'm like, yes, she has. It's remarkable.
And who knows what I'm going to do, after this. I mean, I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know, I know what I'm doing through the middle of November. That's about it.
Still Bobbi.
Yeah.
Still Bobbi. You have been, and it's been mentioned a few times here today, such a powerful supporter of Dress for Success for years. What first drew you to this mission in the 90s? Because it was just getting off the ground in the 90s, right?
So when I first heard about Dress for Success, I think there was one person, Nancy Lublin. I read an article. I called her, and I read or she told me the story of her Poppy Max gave her $5,000 and said, do something good with this. And she started Dress for Success. And so I said, okay, what can I do to help? And so I started helping. And then eventually I joined the board when Joy was the CEO. And, it was such an incredible experience. And when I walked in today, I looked at the back of a woman and I screamed her name, Zoe. Would you stand up, Zoe? Where are you, Zoe? Who changed my life. So I met Zoe because one year when I was being honored, I thought it would be really fun to bring the women of Dress for Success into a studio and do like a Vogue shoot. So I got the studio donated. I called the hairdresser, all my makeup artists, stylists. We did the whole thing. The music's going, and I remember I'm looking at Zoe, and and I went up to her, and I'm like, why are you in such a good mood? You've been through so much. And she just said, I am the luckiest person alive. I got through this, I'm doing this. And I'll never forget that. And she's a motivational speaker now, so you guys have to have her and use her for stuff. And then she was walking out, and I said goodbye, and she had this Louis Vuitton bag. And I had the same bag, and I said to her, nice bag. She said, honey, it's not real. So I went home, and I sent her my real one, and she still has it. But honestly, like, these are the things, that bring me joy, all right? They really do. I love helping people, and I love seeing people help themselves and then help their people, and that's what Dress for Success is about.
It really is what it's about. I saw you reach out to her, and she goes, I know that voice, and she turned around and just grabbed you. I mean, that's what we're all here for, right? Those relationships and those connections.
And she gave me as much as I gave her. And anyone that volunteers for Dress for Success, you understand what that's like.
Absolutely. You have raised 3 incredible sons while building an amazing career. How has raising them shifted your perception on men championing women?
Well, you could ask one of their wives who's here.
Yes.
Hopefully I've taught my boys how to respect their wives, how to help their wives. I can't believe that Cody takes out the garbage, the trash, and does the lawn. Being a Jewish mom, I never had them do anything. It was easier to do it myself. I was the one bringing out the trash, and but I think their wives have helped them. But I'm really proud that they're nice young men.
A lot of people come up to you and ask you about navigating career pivots. Is there advice you would give somebody? Reinvention is something we talk about a lot these days, right? It's an easy word, but might not be so easy for somebody to kind of navigate that change. I know that you're asked that a lot. You have inspired a lot of women to say, hey, maybe I can do that too. Is there some advice you can give to women out here that might be listening, saying like, you know what? Maybe I want to do one of these pivots at some point.
Well, first of all, there's a couple things. You have to think of the reality of a paycheck. How, can you not work for a minute, or should you do something while you're working? And just start to think, am I happy? Because it's really about being happy. Are you happy what you're doing? Do you like the people? Is this bringing you joy? And then think what would bring you joy. And then just start kind of figuring it out. I was forced to make a decision because when you read the book, I either quit or got fired. You could make the decision, I got fired. But anyways, so I had to deal with it. You left what you were doing. And so, there's a lot of things involved, and, just try to find what you love.
And I think it's important to note that when you see somebody here, what it took to get there, because you're very open and raw and real and authentic about it. It wasn't easy right away, even for you. Having built the first global brand to not be there anymore and try to figure out what's next. Right?
It wasn't about the money. Like, I was in a different position than a lot of people. I didn't have to, worry about the money. I had to worry about what I was going to do with my time. I had been working, for the last 30-something years with a calendar that was booked every second. I was on a treadmill. I couldn't get off, and all of a sudden I fell off the treadmill. And it's like, what do I do? What do I do now? I felt like George Bush when he went into a grocery store and said, oh, what is this thing that, I'm like, it was fun going out there. So.
Yeah. In a very competitive industry, you have managed to stay very authentic and true to yourself, and you know who you are. And I don't think that that's always so easy. And when we sit there and talk, and when from the very first time I had heard about you, knew about you, watched you, then met you, it's always been the same Bobbi.
That's why I'm still Bobbi.
That's why you're still Bobbi. And that's not always easy to do, but it's something that's
much easier to do than to not do.
Than to not do?
Oh my God, be yourself.
But I think a lot of people get wrapped up like they have to please everybody else along the way, and then they finally realize like that doesn't work eventually.
Well, I still like pleasing people, but I do my best to please people, but I still have to, I'm still who I am. I tried when I first went to work for Estee Lauder to buy all these like suits with shoulder pads and and go to work and click the heels, and I was like, never comfortable. And one day I got an award for something, and I wore dark jeans and a blazer, and I saw today one of my like style heroes is here, Diane, and she's wearing jeans and a blazer, and that makes you so cool. You guys, you have my permission to wear jeans and maybe put a pair of sneakers on with them and a nice blazer.
Is there, we got to talk products for a minute. Is there one product out there that makes you feel more confident than most?
Well, when it comes to makeup, it's like asking which 3 of my sons
I know,
I like better.
And I won't make you pull
but
one
every
favorite,
day there's a different one on that list, okay? One of them this morning reached out and asked me how I was, if I was doing okay. So he's my favorite.
Nice.
I won't tell you which one it was. But product-wise, look, I need one of the concealer sticks under my eyes because the older I get, I just look tired because I probably am tired. But also the Miracle Balm, but I can't live without the foundation. And we launched lipsticks today. I could live without lipstick. I could live without lipstick.
Yeah,
because if everything else looks good, that I could just throw a gloss on. But I love the new lipsticks. I really love the new lipsticks.
I love
Tawny Nude. And you guys have one in the bag. So there's a bag in the book. There's a bag in the book, so take your bag in the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's right in there. So pull it out and see it. Actually, I've got it on right now.
Yeah, you do.
I put it on before we
Rosy
came up
Brown.
here.
Everyone is Rosy Brown.
Right there. So there you go. I didn't even mean to
Yeah.
be your model today, but you know, you never know what the day brings. In Still Bobbi, you reflect on a lot of lessons over time and paying attention to being in the moment.
Right.
What is next for you?
What is next for me?
What do you think?
Well, there's a book party tonight, so I have that. I have 5 things tomorrow, and I only have 1 thing on Saturday, and my granddaughter's birthday on Sunday. That's where I'm at right now. But I'm in the book tour till the middle of November.
Yeah.
And then I'll you know how it is when you promote something, it'll get quieter, and I promise, guys, I'll be back in the office, soon. So I don't know what the big next thing is. You never know.
I like that part of it, though. I like that part of it. When you go out there and you talk to women that want to know that about themselves and want to kind of make that plan, you just said to me over there, it's, there's a long game. Like, it's okay. It's okay to have a lot of people in the space and all around you, and there's room for everybody. And I think we forget that. We've got social media. We've got all this stuff going in front of our face all the time. But there is quite the calmness about you, and I read it throughout the pages of the book, that makes me, that looks at you and go, oh, it's all going to be okay.
Yeah, and if it's not okay, you have the ability to shift and do something else. And, everyone is in a rush. Every founder in this room, or any founder that calls me like, I need advice. I just got a series A, B, whatever. And I'm like, guys, calm down. Like, just calm down. Don't be in a rush. Like, building a brand is like having a baby. You have to get to know the baby. You've got to nurture the baby. You've got to grow the baby. And then you got to make sure the baby's okay.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the same thing. So you just, anything that matters is hard work, and you actually have to spend time nurturing it.
Well, I want to thank you for what you do for women. I love the fact that you have real women in your campaigns, women, that are midlife and in their 40s, and I look at
30s
and 30s. And I think we all see ourselves in who you have representing your line. There's something really important about that, especially with you in a place of leadership. Dress for Success is all about, lifting women up, so they can find their highest point in their confidence and moving forward. Advice for other people out there in positions of leadership that are trying to do that, lift people up.
I think, first of all, everyone has different styles in leadership. It's a question someone's asking me, what's my style? And everyone at the table said, I'm very direct, which is, it's not a bad thing. I'm direct. You ask me a question, I answer it. If I don't like it, I'll tell you. And if I think it should be something else, and, you have the ability, the people that work for me, to tell me if they don't agree with me. Like, I allow them to tell me this and have a discussion, which my daughter-in-law and I often have these discussions, and it's, we're 2 strong women, but we figure out how to do the right thing. So I just think that you're always a role model for somebody.
Yes.
So it's really good, first of all, to, even if you hate what they're doing, just be nice, right? Just be nice.
Just be nice. Well, you've been a role model for so many and continue to be. Bobbi, thank you. It's an honor for me to sit here with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Remember to get your books.
Thank you.